It's week 2 of the National Football League. Coming up, we'll see Sam Howell. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Commanders and the Broncos, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up Sackett.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great 6th sense, maybe even a 7th and 8th. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. This is taken at the 18. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his 2nd NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 17 carries, 67 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And this is going to be a Commander's 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Well, now they'll try the end around. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. A give up the middle to Gibson. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run with Gibson. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, they gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Rodgers brings it in. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now they show jet sweep it instead, or run up the middle here. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Howell trying to pick it up on third. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll go play action. Howell sliding out of the pocket. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Frank Clark, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Howell, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Wilson. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On third down, Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Fielded just inside the 20. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start on the ground with Gibson fighting through. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. The Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Once more, Gibson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that 1st down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Howell. And this will be incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to the ground with Gibson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Gibson with the solid pickup there, and the Commanders love using his ability in a variety of roles. Led the team with almost 1,400 all-purpose yards in 2022. He can run it and catch it out of the backfield.
Howell changing the play here. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Howell. Being chased out left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Sly able to put this one through. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Dulcich. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Screen play set up for Williams. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A 60-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Second down throw for Howell. The throw here, right sideline, falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. One last shot before the break. Howell. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here is Washington now to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. First and 10 as they start this drive. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And they're going to motion Dotson to the left. On the counter, Gibson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's first and 10. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now they go play action with Howell. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Second down and a run by Robinson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. And Howell will throw it. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It was a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And McLaurin, the motion man right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. 4th down, Howell. Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked in each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run it again with Williams. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. There he goes, right side. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Room here to run. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I will continue to go in that direction.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Final minute now of the third quarter. On second down, Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards. Brings up third down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And now comes the field goal unit on. And boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. I guess I got to hand it to him. That was ambitious.
Well, that's one way to put it.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
At the 37-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter.
We have played 3 quarters. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. Now Howell. There's the stiff arm. This one left side caught by Gibson. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Howell down to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
This is unbelievable.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Third and long, here's Howell. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are on their way to a 2-0 start. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
That's good for a Denver Broncos. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
31-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up second.
And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Now Williams running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 74 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and
he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard.
you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Broncos 3.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be second down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. That one looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be second down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They go play action now. Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He's going to have the first down and then some. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 50 yards. And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's a give to Gibson. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Unable to corral him. He fights through. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. 4th down. Here's Wilson. He's got some room to operate. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 32 yards. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. What's good on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Commanders, and they are going to win this football game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
Yeah, Brandon, I think